I'm Bob Motta. I'm 81 years old, or maybe I should say 81 years young. I have a little bit of an accent because I'm from Boston. I just can't seem to lose it. Exercising is my life, it's hard to get started for some people my age, but you can do it. You just start by walking to the end of the block every day, and you'll increase it and you'll want to do more. But it has to be a way of life, and you'll begin to feel much better about yourself and about your health, and you'll probably get off some of the medications you're on. I mountain bike with a group of old guys, and then I mountain bike by myself. So I do once a week I go with the old guys, and then about 2 or 3 other times I go with by myself. I do most of my biking in four-door. There's a lot of trails out there, a lot of hills. Some of it is novice, some of it is expert, a little bit of everything for everybody. And I also pick up bullets while I'm out there. I take a backpack with me, and usually by the time I'm on my way home, I've already picked up about 30 pounds of bullets, which I haul back. My wife and I go hiking. I take my wife hiking. She said she put me in charge of her health, and so I'm trying to keep her healthy. I'm always in front because I guess it's kind of like my race habit. I'm trying to be in front all the time. But she would get mad and she'd yell at me, and slow down, and I didn't pay much attention to that. And next thing I knew, I got hit in the back with a rock. She started throwing rocks at me, and I said, son of a gun. You got to stay with me because she doesn't know how to get back. But she accuses me of taking the wrong way on purpose, and that's not true. I really know where I am most of the time. And now after about 6 months of that, the rock throwing stopped, and she does really great now. I think she's a lot better off for it. I think she's doing really great. She's 73. And I married a baby.
He's 81 years old and quite an impressive athlete and in great shape for a man of his age, for sure. He's in great shape for a man of half his age. I was actually probably about 16, 17 when he first started deciding that he was going to get into shape. I think what provoked it was the fact that he was getting ready for retirement. He was upwards of 53 years old at that time, and he didn't want to retire and just waste away. The problem with that is, just as his exercise life being fanatical that he is today, he switched everything overnight. It was probably the saddest thing any American teenager could go through. He wanted to get in shape, and the rest of us had to go with him. It was like diet suicide.
When I was young, I smoked. I was a smoker, and that was in the 50s. When I came to California, I remember one morning waking up, and I was coughing and hacking, and this is before they had all of the warnings on the labels. But anyway, when I was going to light up a cigarette, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "I'm bigger than this," and I just crushed up the cigarettes, and stopped smoking. Although after that, I picked up the habit of smoking cigars, and I smoked cigars for a while, and then I quit that cold turkey also. I guess my favorite breakfast is huevos rancheros. And I only have that once in a while. I don't eat that a lot. Dark chocolates and a glass of red wine, I think, and I think it's probably good for you because I keep reading about it in articles that red wine and dark chocolate is good for you. So that's my dessert right there, and I eat it, and I take it every night, so, and it's done well for me. It's really tough to eat really healthy, but if you work out hard, I feel you've earned whatever you're going to eat. If you didn't work out, then you don't deserve it.
It was the summer of 1987, that he and I took a trip to Mexico. And on the way back, we stopped off in San Diego, and that was the first time that we saw inline skates. And I can remember seeing it because we had never seen them before in the Monterey area. Nobody had ever had those skates. And so we were really curious to what they were, and we went and investigated, and we found Rollerblade, the company, truck, doing demonstrations, letting people try them on and skate to see if they liked the skates. And I would say within probably about a half hour of us skating, both of us had owned a pair.
And we said, where can you buy them? We bought 2 pair that day, and that's how we started. My first race was in Inglewood at the LA Forum.
I'm not sure where or how my dad found information for our first race, which was in Inglewood, California. But we ended up going to our first race, and it was really interesting because being that we were the only skaters that we really knew of, we thought we were pretty good. And I can remember getting down there in our recreational rollerblade skates, and when we got there thinking, wow, this is going to be good, we're going to do good, and all of a sudden seeing these guys with these professional speed skates, race boots, race frames, elongated frames, 5 wheels instead of 4.
I still remember my time, 10K, I did it in 27 minutes and 3 seconds. My heart was pounding, I thought I was going to die, and that was just a 10K.
We skated what we would consider a good race, but we got slaughtered by everybody else, and it just started a bond that was very interesting. It couldn't have been done without the support of my mom, who was kind of the cheerleader of the whole team. She would let us, allow us, and especially allow her husband to have all the time he wanted to train. She would go to the races. She would support us at the races and cheer us on. And it just became a family event for many years.
Somebody started they were starting a team in Monterey, California, and I joined. And from that day on, we skated as a team. We skated all around California, mostly all around California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Sacramento, and just races throughout California. We were about 40 strong at one point. But then, like anything else, people get older. So it kept dwindling down to finally it was just a couple of us skating, And then now, and then finally I stopped because of a lack of cartilage in my right knee. I've done a lot of races in my life, probably about 80 or 100 marathons and half marathons. A lot of 10Ks. I've done a 100-miler on my bike. I've raced in Tahiti, Mexico, Jamaica, Germany, and Sweden. All great experiences. I've taken some horrendous spills. I don't know why, but I've always come up with no broken bones, just bruises. And so I'm pretty fortunate. Well, one of the funny stories that I remember was I did a race in Tahiti, and it was a half marathon. And when I came in, I actually went out with the best skaters, and I was able to stay with them. And I was going to do a marathon, but at that pace, I thought, when I saw the half marathon marker, I said, no, that's for me, and I took off, and I made it a half marathon. And when I was the first one overall at that half marathon by 10 minutes. I think the second skater came in 10 minutes later, and he was 16, and I was, I want to say I was about 70, And one of the timekeepers, put a wreath over my head and made me a winner and all that. And my son named me, I don't know, he started this at a race. He called me the Immortal. And so that kind of stuck, and they even named the race after me, the division. They said, and now for the Immortal division. For recreation, I used to skate with all the kids in the neighborhood. And that was kind of fun because I was the only old man. Everybody else was young. And we were, I would play tag on skates at the high school, and then we used to skate through the shopping center, and I don't know why, but the kids like to get the guards to try to chase them. And when I was doing that, some lady yelled out, "Bob Motta, act your age," you know? I mean, kids would come over the house, and I can remember them being at the ring the doorbell, and my wife would go to the door, and I could hear some young kid say, "Is Mr. Motta home? Can he come out and play?" So that was really funny, you know. I learned a lot from them. They taught me how to ride down stairs on my skates and do small jumps. Well, they would do big jumps, but I learned how to do a few smaller jumps, and so you learn a lot from kids because they fear not.
I often go to Monterey to bike with my grandpa, and I usually bring my friends along because they also enjoy biking. I'm by no means a good biker, but I'm well enough in shape to keep up with my grandpa, and it's just a fun goal, you know, to go up there. And I'm 18, my friends are all around that age, you know, you got some 16, 17, but it's fun just to bring everyone up there and to really watch everyone just struggle to keep up with him. It's actually really amazing because despite him being, I don't know, 60, 70 years older than most of us, and still kicking our butts, whether it's uphill, downhill, or just a flat straightaway.
My grandson, Jake, we came down with several of his friends. I think there was three others besides himself, and we all went biking along the 17-mile drive, and we did very well. I mean, they did very well. We are stopping at the lone cypress tree, the most photographed tree in the world. There's 4 or 5 of us on bikes, and my son is on his skates. We're really enjoying this day, and it's a great way to get exercise. And I'd like to see more old guys out here with me, but so happens that these guys are all young.
We just finished with the 17-mile drive trail. It was a really good ride. Spent the entire time trying to catch up to the old man, but I still, even at the end, just couldn't muster up the strength to finally pass him, because last time I almost fell trying to catch him. But overall, it was a really good ride. It wore me down, but I mean, I think I can handle half of it again.
Wore me out. That guy's still good. He kicked my ass on this one.
I can't believe he still beat us all. We gotta do it again sometime. I'm just really surprised that people are this active at such older ages.
We underestimated him. Hardcore.
A lot of people have said to me over the years, God, I wish I could do what you're doing. But in fact, and I tell them, you can just get off that chair, start doing it, you know. I mean, you're not gonna be doing a marathon today, but it's a start, you know. And you just never know where it's going to lead to, but you will be a lot healthier person, and you'll live a better quality of life, you know.
As he retired, his health has actually increased. And it's just amazing. And so he's kind of been my model in life, and something that I've always thought, well, you know, he really didn't start a good diet and good exercise until he was 53, 54 years old. And I have an advantage of starting earlier. And then I've always wanted to ascertain his level of fitness, and that he's been a good role model for me to want to retire and literally have what everybody considers their second childhood. And so I'm really appreciative of him setting those standards and being a role model in that aspect. It's meant a lot to me, and I appreciate it.
I'll keep up with my grandpa. It's my entire goal, just to beat him. Doesn't matter what we're doing. I just have to beat him, because I should not be losing to someone that is 81 years old. Just should not be happening. I'm still having a hard time kicking this man's butt up a steep grade hill. It's amazing.
I don't know how long we'll live, but the quality of my life is going to be good right up to the day I go, you know. And I hope I go while I'm doing something, you know.
And here is the best part. You have a head start if you are among the very young at heart.
I know what boys want.
Robbie was a trick skater. He did things like jumping over cars, staying in shape. Ba, 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 bing. He could do stairs really fast.
I got it in Tahiti, and how many years ago? About 8 years ago.
He's been on NBC national television on the Bing Crosby golf tournament.
He always wants to be doing something, and I prefer reading.
Well, this is wonderful. I don't have to talk or brag about me at all.
Her ears prick up